Hi there. So, what is love? What do we mean when we say the word love? For example, I will say the following things: I love God. I love my wife. I love my daughter. I love my cats. I love the Cincinnati Bengals. And I love Skyline Chili. We use the same word for all of those things and understand that there's a different connotation for each time that we use it. In the Greek language, however, the language that the New Testament was originally written in, there are several words for love. For example, eros. This is the kind of love that's only appropriate between a husband and a wife. It's romantic and passionate. Then there's phileo love, which is the brotherly love, friendship and affection. And lastly, there's agape. That's the altruistic, self-sacrificing, accepting, committed, and benevolence type of love. This is most often the word used to describe God's love for us. So let's take a look at a story from the Bible where two of these words are used, phileo and agape, and how they're contrasted with each other. The context is Peter had denied Jesus 3 times. Jesus was crucified and later resurrected, and now Jesus is appearing again to Peter in resurrected form. John 21:15-17. When they had finished eating, Jesus asked Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" "Yes, Lord," he answered. "You know I love you." Jesus replied, "Feed my lambs." Jesus asked a second time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" "Yes, Lord," he answered. "You know I love you." Jesus told him, "Shepherd my sheep." Jesus asked a third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was deeply hurt that Jesus had asked him a third time, "Do you love me?" "Lord, you know all things," he replied. "You know I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep." So we see the word love used many times here. And what is really interesting is which Greek word for love is used. In verse 15, Jesus says, "Do you agape me more than these?" And Peter responded, "You know I phileo you." In verse 16, Jesus says, "Do you agape me?" Peter said, "You know I phileo you." Verse 17, Jesus says, "Do you phileo me?" And Peter responds, "You know all things, you know I phileo you." And so Jesus moves from, "Do you agape me more than these?" to just, "Do you agape me?" to finally, "Do you phileo me?" So he lowered the bar of love every time he asked this question. And clearly this must have been an uncomfortable conversation. Peter had previously said he was willing to die for Jesus, only to deny Jesus 3 times. And perhaps he did not want to boast of the superior love of agape after he had failed 3 times. I think this calls us to question, what kind of love do you have for Jesus? Are you fully committed to him in a way that takes us wherever he leads, even if it means losing your job or your friends, even if it means giving up something you desire because you know it's wrong, even if it means being ridiculed for your beliefs? Do we love him even if loving him is costly? Jesus said that the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, mind, strength, and soul. And the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. He also said that anyone that wants to come after him must deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow him. That is the type of love and commitment that God is calling us to. And that is my prayer for me and you. God bless.